Hello, I'm Rida Fakhri in Washington with the main stories brought to you by Al Jazeera. Demonstrators in Iran flooded the streets for a fourth day in a row on Tuesday following the country's disputed elections. Thousands marched through Tehran in support of the president, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, while backers of the runner-up, Mir Hossein Mousavi, staged their own rally. Coverage of both events was limited to the state media as authorities clamped down on foreign outlets. Now, meanwhile, Iran's top legislative council agreed to a partial recount of the vote, but insisted the election will not be held again. South Korea's president says that with the backing of the United States, North Korea will never be allowed to become a full-fledged nuclear power. Lee Myung-bak made that pledge after meeting U.S. President Barack Obama at the White House on Tuesday. The two leaders said despite defiance from Pyongyang, they will tighten international sanctions against the communist country. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter met with Hamas leader and deposed Prime Minister Ismail Haniyeh in the Gaza Strip on Tuesday. The talks were unofficial, but Carter says he will now report on his meeting to President Obama. He also expressed shock at the conditions he found in the Gaza Strip, 5 months after the end of Israel's offensive there. Campaigning in Afghanistan's presidential elections kicked off on Tuesday with 41 candidates on the ballot for the August 20th vote. Polls put the incumbent Hamid Karzai way in front despite a steep decline in support during his first 5-year term. The United Nations Refugee Agency has warned that the number of refugees around the world is set to surge in 2009 due to conflicts in Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Somalia. It comes as the UNHCR released figures showing the number of persons displaced by war or persecution fell in 2008 to 42 million worldwide. Now, the greatest number of those came from Afghanistan and Sudan. Peru's Prime Minister says he plans to resign in the coming weeks. Yehude Simon's announcement comes after the opposition called on the president to fire him for failing to prevent this month's deadly protests. Indigenous communities from the Amazon region have been demonstrating against government plans to sell off land to foreign investors. And those are the top stories here on Al Jazeera. Don't forget, there's always more on our website at aljazeera.net/English.